I don't really want to be out there. Like when you make a top the final day, that's your day to kind of go out there and you're glad everyone else is off the water. And now you got to go compete with a whole bunch of locals and that are already going to probably be on the water before you. So I was like, guys, why don't we just make everyone happy? Let's just start the tournament on Wednesday, have a Wednesday, Thursday, final day, Friday. It does so many things. We don't mess with any local tournaments can have all their tournaments they want to Saturdays and Sundays. We don't get in any way of the high school stuff, right? So it's a win-win for both of us. Guys like us, we, so many of us all have jobs and families. If you do have a family, that pretty much takes up 2 of your weekends, right? Because you're there the weekend. So now you get home for that weekend. If you want to go fish at the local tournament, you can go fish it. If not, you can go hang out with your family. You're not missing out on that weekend where some of us have to drive home on Saturdays. Now we're there. Now we're back home. It's a win-win. I mean, I don't see how it's a loss for anyone. So I'm going to try to get that to where every tournament's Wednesday, Thursday. I think the Open should be that way too.
Well,
Tell me one negative.
and that's actually one of the things I was going to jump into on mine, on the Open side of things, and I think it kind of goes for a lot of different things now. Like, you bring a really interesting topic, bringing tournaments instead of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or even Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, like, there's a lot of different options there to do. And I think it makes a lot of sense. The Western Opens, which would be like the WAN Bass guys, they actually do a lot of their tournaments on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which I think is pretty cool. Like the U.S. Open's always Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to
Yeah.
kind of cut down on the weekend traffic and things like that. But one thing that I do want to talk about, and I've kind of refrained from talking about it for quite some time, but I think it needs to be talked about. And this is a really important topic, and that's cancellation days. And let's talk about where we are headed on these cancellation days, because you pay, we all pay all this money to fish these tournaments. Let's say $1,800, $5,000, whatever it is, whatever your tournament entry fee is, and you pay to fish your 2 days, and you qualify for the third or fourth day, whatever your tournament organization is. Let's just say, for instance, in your situation at the Toyota Series, you end up finishing fourth at Texoma, but the tournament was cut down from a 3-day event to a 1-day event. Why are these tournaments not extended to calculate for these bad weather days? So let's say, for instance, hypothetically speaking, the tournament's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Everybody fishes Thursday, Friday. They cut to 25 or 10 or whatever the cut is for Saturday. Why are we, if we cancel the first day of the event, not pushing the event to a Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
This has special circumstances. I'll go into that, but keep going.
I really think if I'm going to pay my $1,800 to fish an event, I want to fish for 3 days. I don't care if you have to take 6 days to fish the tournament. If you schedule a tournament on a body of water that you're even that worried about it, I don't want it to be a 1-day shootout. I deserve, as a paying customer, a 3-day tournament, not a canceled half, 3/4, canceled tournament. I want a 3-day tournament. I want my opportunity to try to make my cuts and make my top tens and win my money. And I'm not saying that it's not good to cancel days. That's the furthest from what I'm saying. Because I do think there's certain situations. At Cherokee, they canceled the first day because it was sustained at 23 to 25 miles an hour with gusts to 40. That is not safe conditions to fish in. That's just where we're at. But should we as anglers be penalized for having canceled days and then cutting the tournament short for us?
Well,
Todd, let's just say, for instance, Todd goes out there on Thursday, Friday without the high school guys. And he goes out there and looks around and finds a 30-pound bag on the first day, catches a 30-pound bag. Second day catches a 25-pound bag. And then the last day catches his 18.6 or whatever he weighed in, or 18.3, whatever it was. And he blows the tournament out. But now you've waited 2 days. These fish are off beds. And then the Saturday comes and he catches 18 because he's dealt with not only a bad boat number, but also terrible pressure. And so where is the reward there? If I'm going to pay that amount of money to go fish a tournament, I want my days. And I understand that they have to take certain, you know, they have to get permits for a lake or something like that. But let's be honest, if you start the tournament on a Wednesday, to Todd's point, you start the tournament on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Go ahead and get it for 2 additional days, and then at that point, if you still can't have the tournament, go on, then say, you know what, we tried, we gave it 2 buffer days and it didn't still work.
Okay.
Then you are
Okay.
good.
I'm good with you because I wanted to bring that up. So you got there. You got there. You can't go past Sunday.
No.
Okay. Just because you said
Yeah.
6 days. Okay.
Yeah,
So
you know what I'm saying though.
okay, just being sure.
Yeah.
Well, there's some guys that might be going, I don't care how long it takes. He's not saying go to that Monday.
No.
Dude, everyone's got jobs. Like, and
We
no
have
one's
jobs
sitting,
and it's a AAA level trail. I get
okay.
it. Yeah.
But I agree with you that so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like I said, solves a lot of problems. If you start on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, now you have 2 extra days at the end. It's the weekend to possibly have that stuff if all else fails. The reason I talked to Mark, the reason they didn't go Sunday was back. So when the Thursday were 30-mile-an-hour winds, gust of 50, out of the northwest. The next day they dropped down to like 25, gust of 30. Right, they weren't as bad, but it was bad. The next day they were 10 to 20 out of the south. Maybe it was the southwest. I'm not even sure. It was beautiful that morning for hours, and then as the day, it got rough. It wasn't. I didn't.
It wasn't 25 to 30.
It wasn't 25. I got out there in it, and I mean, it wasn't like no one I think said it was too bad. The Sunday was going to be back in like the 30s and like 35 again, like almost worse than the other days. And that's why we didn't go into Sunday, because Sunday was going to be right. Like we literally couldn't, like it blew bad every single day.
Yeah.
Except Saturday. That was the least amount. And I'm not saying we could have even had it on Wednesday. I don't know. But if we'd have started on Wednesday, like you said, yes, you could have had it Wednesday, Thursday, and then let everyone know. You got to let people know, right? Like if you're going to enter these events, right, this is what possibly could happen.
Correct.
Because in my opinion, if you don't let people know, then they have a chance to complain. And I agree with them.
Yeah.
But if you tell them, guys, look, this is like from the start of when you signed up for these, they're Wednesday, Thursday, Friday events. If we cannot do them and we get canceled, we will try to go Saturday and Sunday. That way, when the guy goes, I had something to do on Saturday, I didn't plan on this. No, we said that if something gets canceled, we are going to. So if you want to fish these events, you take off these days. You better make sure that you can possibly go these days, or this isn't a tournament for you.
Yep.
Because in my opinion, like I said, I always want to know what's possible. I have the luxury of usually being able to, I mean, I say I have the luxury, I'm going from one event from the Bassmaster Open on Ross Barnett to Rayburn. I wouldn't want all of a sudden them to the Bassmaster Open go longer, and then the Rayburn event, and next thing I know, I can't even make that event, and I pay, stuff like that. But regardless, keep it in a time frame of that week, like you said, a Wednesday to Sunday. 90% of the time we're going to get it in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But I mean, I don't know what it is. But the longer we fish these tournaments, when you agree, and we understand why, we don't have to get into it, but they're canceling more and more days.
Yeah.
And it's a liability.
I will say part of the reason why is we have had some deaths. There's been some people getting some bad wrecks.
It's a liability.
And insurance policies are cracking down. And that's just what it is.
That's
it's
part. Listen, we're not complaining about it.
No, we just want our fair shake at the tournament, and that's it.
It's just like the high school thing. Yeah. I'm not complaining that they had 360 teams. I'm going, this is how it is now. So they can't change the high school thing. Those kids got school.
Yeah,
we can change ours. So why wouldn't we do it? Same thing with we understand that the liability is bad. We're not I'm not telling them they should have had those tournaments when it was
No,
blowing. You'll never hear me once complain about that. If
me
you'd have
either.
sent me out in there, I would have done it. I
Yeah,
wouldn't have complained. I can go either way. I'm a grown man. I've done this long enough. I'll
yeah.
make it. But if you are going to do this, let's have some contingency plans in place. So let's make this, you
I
know,
truly don't think it would be a big far stretch
no.
to move the tournament one day forward. Wednesday, Thursday, cut to Friday, and then still get the permits for Saturday, Sunday,
I,
just in case.
I
And then
talked
if
to
it goes past it, then great. Like it is what it is.
I
Like,
talked to 40 fishermen,
yeah,
40, at least 40, every one of them. I mean, I was just seeing people like before takeoff, and I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? They're like, absolutely. Like it wasn't like, well, everyone was like, absolutely, they were all for it,
yeah.
100% for it. So did
Well,
I
like
talk to
I
everyone?
just look at it
No.
as like a paying customer. Like if I don't want just half my product. I don't want a quarter of my product. I want my fair shake at what's going on.
And when
And
I lose, I
yeah,
want to lose the right way.
exactly. Like when I get last place, by God, I want it to be
I want to
whatever.
earn. I want to
Yeah,
earn that last place.
absolutely. But like
Hey,
that's the thing. I think it's a really important point. And I've seen it so much. And look at like what the elites do. And look at the Bass Pro Tour. They'll have like weather delays now, which is the
yeah, but
craziest thing. But like the elites, they'll
that's
cancel a
full time
day and
job
they'll
stuff.
and they'll
But yeah,
go to the next day and they'll keep going
and
to
they
make sure
should.
they get their events in. I just don't see the big difference between them spending 5 grand for a tournament and us spending
Yeah,
1,800.
but so many of us
You
guys
know,
have jobs.
but to your point, if you move the tournaments to Wednesday, Thursday,
No, no, no.
Friday,
Correct. Correct.
you still have the weekend to play with because
Yes.
even if the final day is on Sunday, that's still 10 to 25 people, and everybody else in the field can go to the house.
And if you're worried about practice, um, yeah, we need to watch about complaining about practice, because I know me and Andrew and all of us would love that. I understand why they
Yeah.
won't do it. It's a money thing, but would you right now take a 3-day practice in the opens?
I
How
mean, I
how fast
would, but
how fast would you sign up for that?
oh yeah, so fast. But like, I would take a 2-day practice personally. But
Exactly.
I
You know
mean,
how much
because
better
yeah,
your fishing would
so much
be?
better.
God, like y'all would catch them so much better in the opens and
I know,
everywhere.
and people don't realize it. Like, and there's a lot of guys. Let's just say, for instance, Cherokee ended the other day, and as soon as Cherokee ended, I drove home to pick up a boat, drop off a boat, went back to Cherokee and Douglas, shot a TV show, then went to the James. Well, a lot of my competitors, I mean, a lot of them, went straight to the James River and stayed there for 2 straight weeks. And no knock to them. Like if they can do it, by all means, go do it. Um, but the fact of the matter is like we are really cannibalizing ourselves by having these extended practices and guys going out there nonstop beating on them and not really, uh, you know, there's no real cure for it unless you're cutting down to your practice time. And you know what? And there's gonna be a lot of guys that say, "Man, I need my 5 days," and that if that's fine, whatever. Like, I don't. I think that's an unwinning, a non-winning situation there because you do that. It does bring so much money to the economy, and that is the big draw to the Bassmaster Opens, and that's one reason I am baffled that you don't see more opens on like Toledo Bend and some other really good lakes like Gunnersville, because there is so much draw there. You have a bunch of co-anglers that come from out of state. It's a different grade of fishermen, and I'm not saying a better grade. It's just different. It's not always your Toyota anglers. It's just there's this like clique almost of guys that fish just the opens, and that's just what they fish. They don't fish the Toyota series. They don't fish anything else. And then on top of that, you have some locals. I actually feel like there's more locals that fish Toyota series than there are that fish the opens.
Absolutely.
And the opens is a more traveling circuit. So it definitely does help the economy more with the open aspect.
They'll
So
they'll never do it, but I would push for it for a couple reasons. But the other reason is I think the open set so many people up for failure come the elites, because
I wasn't going to talk about this,
We're not going to talk about it. I'm just saying it's like,
But no. There's a topic that's on a different topic level, but we're going to talk about it real quick. It needs
okay.
to be talked about.
All right.